Hey guys, this is Rachel Youngson here from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. We are here with our weekly PLR Power Hour. This is our chance to ask questions, get connected, share resources, and talk about ways to use our PLR. More than anything, some of my clients take this time just to carve an hour out of their week to focus on putting their PLR to use and working on it. Today, we are going to shift gears a little bit, and we are going to talk today about setting up your foundation for a PLR business. So, first thing I think I should say is who I am and how I came up with this topic idea. Well, obviously, my name is Rachel Youngson. I run wholefoodplr.com, and I have been selling PLR for over 5 years. I'd say closer to 8, but definitely over 5. In addition to that, I started a group called the Use PLR Members Group in Facebook, and that's where I take my clients who've bought PLR from me or gotten a freebie from me and show them how to put their PLR to use so that they can turn around and make a profit from it. Inside of this group, though, I did have a few folks asking how to start their own PLR business, and that's how this came about. I do have some expert guests that I've been talking to. It's just a matter of trying to get my schedule to mesh with someone else's schedule, and if the first choice doesn't work, then I'm going to go to the second choice. Eventually, we will have an expert guest here who also runs PLR, but also has like expert guest trainings. So that's who I am. And today I'm going to be showing you and telling you what PLR is, like how it can work for you as far as providing PLR and all that other fun stuff. For my regular attendees, after I'm done with my spiel today, I'll be answering questions for the PLR Foundations portion, but we'll also do our member wins and member question and answer later in the Power Hour. If you do decide to drop out, feel free to just drop your questions into the group and tag me in them. Okay, so first things first. When you start a PLR store, most people think, okay, well, I want a little bit of extra money. I want a little bit of extra cash. So what better thing to do than to start a PLR store? Because ghostwriting is it's a great option for people to get who want to start earning money online, which is a lot of people obviously want to earn money online. And ghostwriting is a great first option for that. But the problem with ghostwriting is eventually you can get burnt out, and you likely will get burnt out because you are serving clients consistently, and you have to create original content for each client that you serve. So every single time somebody needs something, you basically start from scratch. This is what makes PLR so desirable for us, is because I can create a piece of content, and I still own rights to this content. It's not like I created it for someone else and now they have all the rights and now I can never use that again. I still own some of the rights. So for me as a seller, I can use that content as bonuses when I do affiliate promotions. I can make special VIP specials for my best affiliates or for my best clients or anything like that. I can reach back to that content and add it as extra bonuses for my own new releases, and I can also go back and revamp it and prioritize it every few years, or as if the topic changes and that kind of thing. So that's what makes PLR really, really desirable for folks. There are a few things that I always recommend that you think about when you are sorry, I'm just going to pull up the chat to make sure I don't miss anything from anyone. Hey, Greg, there are a few things that I recommend that you think about before you open your own PLR store. First of all, if writing, just do it. Just do it. Because the technical aspect of opening a PLR store is going to take longer, likely, than the writing portion. And I would definitely, if you have something on your heart or you have something that you feel could serve a community and you want to write about it, then, and there's a need, then work with that. Go with that. And even if you don't have like a dedicated affiliate program or a dedicated shopping cart, there are ways around that. All you need is just a little WordPress site, or even a freebie. Like I think they have like free sites out there still, like Wix was one when I first came online. But I mean, you don't have to worry about buying a big expensive shopping cart and then learning how to fill your store. You can do it the other way, and we'll go over some of those options for you. The very first thing I want you to focus on is, what are you going to be about? So, for instance, Jen, who is on this call, she does planners and journals. That's her niche. That is, if you need a planner, you need a journal, that's where you go to her. She says howdy, everybody. But that's what she does. There's no question. There are a lot of sellers who, and I was one of them. My old site is no longer up, or else I would gladly show it to you. But I was one of them. When I first started PLR, I did not have a business coach at the time. I didn't have a lot of direction. And so I started a little PLR store, and I wrote about anything that I could that I thought would make me sales. I had party supply PLR. I had Halloween PLR, yoga, debt. I think I had some college stuff, health and wellness. I mean, it was just all lumped in there. And I thought at the time, because I was making sales and because I had a small group of affiliates who were promoting me, and I was bringing in like a few $100s a month, I thought, okay, well, all I have to do is keep doing this. But that's not really the case. I was trying to reach a huge, huge audience with like little topics, when what I should have done is narrowed it way, 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 way down and looked and focused on one niche, one little umbrella, and kept serving the same clients there over and over and over again. And once I did that, at the advice of my business coach, I'm not a genius, I didn't figure it out myself. Someone else told me to do that. And when she told me to do it, I was like devastated. I was like, you don't understand. I've put all this together. I'm making some money. I have some affiliates. I really don't want to, I would really rather not go back and scrap all this and create another site that's niche specific. I'd really rather not create all this new content. I just don't want to do it. And you pay your business coach for a reason, and listen to them. So I listened to her, and it did take a little bit of time for me to find my footing again after I created a whole new site and made it very specific to the whole food niche, and told people, hey, this is what I'm doing now. Got my content written or wrote it myself. All that stuff took a while. But this site here has affiliates who are big in the PLR game. I have every single affiliate that I've ever dreamed of before, like when I first came online, talking like Alice Siva, Nicole Dean, Kelly McCausey, Connie Reagan Green, who is another business coach of mine who I love to pieces, Dennis Becker, all of these people are affiliates for this site. And that is the difference that I want to explain to you guys about having a niche specific or having a free-for-all. I'm not saying the free-for-all doesn't work for for some people. I mean, Walmart is a free-for-all store, and look at it, you know, Amazon, hey, I mean, free-for-all stores, just like businesses, work, you know, for some people, but not for everybody. And for the majority of us, the let's say the baby clothes do better at the Baby Gap than they do at the Walmart, where there's baby clothes and auto parts and everything else at the same time. Does that make sense? Can someone please drop something in the comments just to let me know that it's flowing for you in a good way, that it kind of makes sense the way that I'm putting it. Thanks, Audrey. I appreciate it. Okay, so the first task, and you guys might want to write this down because this is kind of an impromptu power hour based on the fact that I know that you guys have a need that I want to help you fulfill, but I didn't have my guest today. So you may want to write this down. First thing that you need to do, be niche specific. Write that down. Find your niche. Audrey says she could see doing niche PLR and writing everything else on her own blog. Yeah. And Jen says, be specific without niching down too deep. So let's take a look at what Jen's talking about. So like this is whole food PLR. When I first started this was to serve both whole food and paleo. A lot of people, actually, believe it or not, seem to feel like the whole food portion is not specific enough. A lot of my folks just like the paleo. So I do niche specific, but within this umbrella, I don't dig down too deep. So within this umbrella, what do you want? We got Valentine's stuff, breast cancer for paleo, muscle building, summer stuff. I mean, Instant Pot challenges. You see? So it's like, it's niche specific, but it's not so specific that it's not so specific that anyone who's looking for PLR won't be like, hey, my PLR isn't here. It's not so specific that someone would be like, hey, I need paleo PLR. Where that you've only got paleo kids PLR. What am I going to do now? Yes, Audrey, you are exactly right. Audrey says that she's a food blogger, and as a food blogger, catering to specific diets can be exhausting. It's funny because I think that you're right. But in the same sense, as much as I think that you're right, as a PLR seller, I have to go by what my audience responds to. So like if I was a blogger, I would totally agree with you. And like even when I see people in my community, a lot of whom do have their own health blogs and that kind of thing, it does seem to me like it can be repetitive, or it can be exhausting, or it could be XYZ. But this is what my community responds to. And part of the beauty of having the whole food portion of this still in place is that there is another avenue. And if, let's say, like Hugh Hughes, I don't know who all knows him, but he's a great, he's really come on board this year as a strong PLR seller. I had never even heard of him before this year, and then he's just kind of blown me away with his stuff, right? So he's coming up with an organic gardening PLR pack. Well, how am I going to reach those folks? Or, I'm sorry, how am I going to reach my clients to take interest in that? I could do a bundle of paleo stuff, but the only problem is, while that might serve the folks here in this community, my PLR site, I have this whole other community over at my used PLR site of folks who also buy from me on my recommendations on certain products. And because I have them too, this whole food leg would be a better fit for everybody. Jen says there's still a lot of room for in those specific niches, and there really is. There really is. I mean, like you look at whole food alone, you have whole food for meat eaters, whole food for plant eaters. You have people who follow the what is it? Whole 30. There it is. People who follow the Whole 30, and all of those rules are just a little bit different for each avenue. It's yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Jen says she creates templates, but they're on a variety of subjects. She thinks if she only did weight loss templates, she might run out of people to sell to. I think that in Jen's case, I think she's probably right, because you know those planners and journals are hot now, but that wasn't always the case. And I don't know that there's like PLR sellers. You could, if you're like in this little internet marketing swimming pool, let's say, you could throw a floaty and you could hit a PLR seller. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of us. People who sell those planners and journals, they're a much smaller group. So yeah, I agree that I would think that if you were too specific, that you might lose sales. However, I should put in the caveat for anyone who is like listening to this and thinking, hey, I might want to do planners and journals, that as time goes on, or as you see that your audience responds to something, you may want to consider going into a niche specific. And the reason is because Jen is getting into this at a time where there aren't that many, there are people who are doing it, but there are very few who are doing it specifically. So like I do have other PLR friends who have journals and planners, but very few whose sites are totally designated for this. Over time, that might not be the case. Over time, as these keep growing in popularity, that might be different. And because Jen got in first, or in these starting stages, she is like a Walmart. She's a good candidate for a future Walmart, I guess I should say. Jen says it's also going to depend on who you target. She looks at coaches in all the industries and people who want to offer them on marketplaces like Amazon or Etsy. Yes. So that's one thing. If you guys are interested in planners and journals, Jen did a great power hour with us. It's in the members group under the units, and she will walk you through editing a planner and journal and how to sell it and how to make money. Maybe Jen's like a Target. She says that she's too good for Walmart. The snob. Just kidding. Okay, so first step, find your niche. Figure out what you want to talk about. It can be, some people can just be like tools for motivation. They just do personal development, self-help. Now, under that umbrella, there falls a lot of topics, and they have, I would venture to say, 50 to 100 different topics easily, but it all falls under the same umbrella, and they are able to do that, and they are able to do that well. So pick your niche, figure out what you want to write about, and start writing. I personally would recommend that in the beginning, you go deep. I would recommend that in the beginning, you say, hey, I'm going to write paleo for right now. And then as you get your first few paleo customers, then you already know, hey, these people are going to want more of that. So you can keep doing that. And then you can feed your money into maybe branching off into maybe whole food, for instance. You know, I would recommend, that's just me, but that's how I would recommend doing it. Because, you know, you want to kind of get up and running as quickly as you can, and you want to, obviously it's about making money. You know, if you spend all your time kind of throwing things against the wall and seeing what sticks, but you're not serving the clients who you already have, then you might be in a pickle. So once you figure out your niche, then Money loves speed. You guys are on fire today. So yes, I say this all the time. Um, this is I heard this from Dennis Becker, and I always credit him because otherwise people will think I stole it. But yeah, money loves speed, not perfection. That's that's what Jen says, and that's so true. Go back and revamp it. Go back and edit it. Go back and tweak it. Make the pictures look better. Do whatever you need to do, but get it out there because that's what's going to get you money in your pocket. If it's not great, it doesn't matter. If it's not, you want it to be something that they can understand, obviously, but it doesn't matter if it's perfect. It doesn't matter if the graphics are on point. You can get it out there and you can adjust it later. Get it out there, test the waters. You know, when I revamp a pack, my current customers already get a copy of that because when I upload the file on the back end, then it's just that simple. I upload it on the back end, it overwrites their current file. So anything that I revamp, they automatically get. So yeah, money loves speed. So pick your niche. Let's figure out where we're going to host. First thing I would recommend, probably the only thing I would say that you'd have to spend money on right now is your website, getting a website. I would always recommend getting a website. I pay GoDaddy. I think you could get a website for like $9.99 a year, and then you would link that over to HostGator, and that's like I pay $35 a month for that. So in the grand scheme of things, it's all relatively inexpensive, but it looks much more professional when I send an email and it says Rachel at Whole Food PLR, or versus Rachel at Whole Food PLR at gmail.com. It looks much more professional when I have a website like this that I own versus having one of those freebie websites that maybe has ads in it, or I can do only so much with it. So yes, it might be pretty, but it also kind of looks like all the other websites, you know, like Squidoo. Remember those Squidoo pages? For those of you who've been doing this forever, it was a great platform. You could put it was free. You could put your own stuff out there, but I could find, no matter how I found your stuff, I could look at that page and I could say, oh, that's a Squidoo page, because they all looked so much the same. And you really want to, it's not necessarily about standing out per se, but it is about making sure that you have control over your stuff. If anybody else owns your stuff, then you don't have complete control over it, and that can kick you at some point down the road. So what is that? Like under $50. Let's say under $50, you will start this PLR business of yours. You will get a website, go to GoDaddy, find out what you want. Base your address off of the niche that you want. For instance, you see this is Whole Food PLR. There's no question when you come here, what am I going to get? Well, paleo falls under Whole Food, and Whole Food obviously falls under Whole Food. And then you will connect your website to HostGator. So HostGator does all the back-end stuff. It gives you access to a cPanel, gives you access to a WordPress. It allows you to get your email, all that fun techie stuff. So once you have all this stuff in place, now it's time to think of shopping carts. What I tell my folks, and they're probably going to give me a ribbing because I always say this stuff. There are free ways that you can go about your shopping cart. Just like with your webpage, do not stay with the free shopping cart. Do not expect that it's going to keep you safe forever. Don't get in that free bubble, because if that shopping cart has issues, then you're going to be affected. If that company that owns that shopping cart goes out of business, you're going to be affected by that. Your clients are going to be affected by that, and that's not going to be fun for you, and it's definitely not going to be fun for your pocketbook. So starting out though, free options. Let's look at a couple of those free options. Is everybody paying, like, is this boring anybody, or is this okay for everybody? Because I know that I don't have like slides or anything great going on today. Oh, thanks, Laura. Laura says she's taking notes. And you know, Laura, also, and I'll say it for everybody, obviously, if you have any questions after this webinar is over, you can always, always, always shoot me an email, rachel@useplr.com. I'll answer your email. There are also other resources that I think would be great for anyone looking to start a PLR business after this webinar. But honestly, I'm not going to pitch them or talk about them in depth here in this format because these are the expert guests that I'm going to have in the future. And when I have these expert guests, generally they will give a discount to my community for a limited time. I don't want you guys to pay full price if I can get a discount for you 2 or 3 weeks from now. I'd rather just serve you and help you kind of find your footing between now and then, so that you can at least get the ball rolling. Jen says she was asleep, so she's being blocked. So Greg, take care of Jen. She's getting thrown out of the webinar. Virtual bouncer. Okay. So your free options. The first one that I talk to my folks about all the time is JVZoo. And JVZoo is it's, some people love it, some people hate it. A lot of people used to love it until like 5 months ago, and then some big hiccup happened and a lot of people moved out of this space as far as promoting things, because they had to trust this JVZoo system, and the JVZoo system had a problem. So then of course that affected all the sellers who were trying to sell their stuff. So but they are still a huge company. They are a name that people know. They are able to handle your affiliate management. They are able to connect with an email client when you have an email established. So they're a really good first step. Essentially what you would do is you would open a free account and you would create your own product. You'd go down, these are the sellers things. I should say, do a 1099 when you get into JVZoo, because otherwise you can go through this whole process and then it will hold up. Everything will come to a screeching halt before your first big launch. So do a 1099. But once you create your account, you'll go down here to sellers. This is your sellers dashboard. And as a seller, you can easily add your products. Once you add them, they'll be found in a listing. They will stay here forever. You can make upsells and downsells. You can stop your products from being sold. So like some of these one-time offers, I didn't want to sell more than a few because I wanted to make them profitable, like the one-time offer. If you leave something on sale for too long, then it tends to devalue the wow factor of your products. So you can deactivate things, and you can do, best of all, you can do upsells and downsells. So I'll pretend that I'm going to add a product, but I'm not actually going to add a product, just because I want you guys to kind of get a sense of how it works. So you'll put your product name in here, internal product name. I do believe that this is just for you, but this will tell you for sure. Discoverable to affiliates. I always would check this, especially if you're new to the PLR world. I would check this. If you are launching to like a specific, like you're having a sale for a specific person, like let's say I was running a specific sale just for Jen and just for Jen's journal community, then I don't want everybody finding this, because I only want Jen to be getting credit for this. This is a special just for her and her people. So this wouldn't be discoverable because I don't want everybody finding it. I would just take care of Jen and suit her community's needs. This is a new option here. I'm assuming it's good to show it in the marketplace, so I'd probably do that. Description, category, pretty standard stuff. This is your launch date, so you'll tell it when you want it to launch, how you want to do your commissions. You can also do your commissions as in 100% for your front end, like your basic product, and then your upsells 50%. And that's what a lot of people do. So you may want to write that down. A lot of folks, when they're doing like JVZoo or another affiliate platform like this, they'll do 100% on the front end and 50% on the upsells. Or they'll do 75% on the front end and 50% on the upsells. But they really don't make their money as a product creator on that front end, not when they do the big launches. They make their money by getting the customers into their funnel. They make their money by being able to reach out to those customers with similar topics over time. And more importantly, that one-time offer is supposed to be outstanding. You know, when you make an OTO, you want it to be really, really valuable, really, really good. So that's how they start to recoup their money back. Dime sale, I think it's pretty standard. Start out like a dime, obviously, and then it just keeps increasing. Like $9.99, don't start out at like 10 cents, but like $9.99, and then it'll just keep going a little bit. These are all your seller details. This is new, but this is the most popular checkout template that I see is the classic. You've got your electronic, you can deliver, it delivers automatically for you. It connects to, the last time I checked, it connected with Aweber email service, and I believe it connected with GetResponse as well. So that's the beauty of JVZoo. Once you do all of this, you can create an upsell or even a downsell, and you can create multiple upsells or downsells. And then it will pay, you'll get an HTML code for your button, and you'll take that HTML code, you'll go over to your WordPress site, and you will just stick that HTML code on the WordPress page where you make your presentation or your sales pitch for that product. Does that make sense? I know some of you vets, I know some of you guys who are here and listen to me ramble all the time could say this stuff in your sleep. But for those of you who are newer to this, or for those of you who just kind of found this on social media and thought, hey, I'll just do this today, does that make sense? Oh, Jen, you're full of the jokes today. All right. Leah says it's good. Thank you, Leah. I really appreciate that. Okay, so now we have our site. Now we have made a page specific to your PLR offer, which is niche specific, as we talked about. You've taken your free button from JVZoo. You put it at the bottom of your sales page. See, it will look similar to this, except it'll say JVZoo on it. It will have its own price here. And now you're ready to find affiliates and do all that fun stuff. But there's a big step we haven't covered, and that is, what do you want to put in your PLR product? What do you want your PLR to be? If you have a straight written PLR product and nothing else, no visuals, no videos, no fun things of any kind, it can be the best written product, but your audience is very likely going to click away and go someplace else. Because the more work that you do, if it's writing, then that usually means the more work they're going to have to do. And I don't know about you, but I like to be lazy, and I like to serve a customer base that likes to be lazy too. So, and that's nothing against any of my clients or customers. It's just saying that, we like to get things out quick. Get it out. Just do it, revamp it, reformat it, get it out of there, go for the next one. It's like a race. So, if you have just a report and you have no visuals in the report, it's just a written report, it's going to bore people. If you have just a report and articles and nothing else, it's going to bore folks. So what you're going to want to think about is, what do you want to do to attract your customers? Audrey says she's lazy and proud. Great, Audrey. Yeah, me too. Okay, Laura. Okay. So Laura says she's a bit confused about what to put on JVZoo. No problem, Laura. So we'll go over this portion, and then I will definitely backtrack over there so we can spend a little bit more time over there for you. Okay. And Jen is also offering some advice, Laura. She's about JVZoo and how it's going to connect everything for you. So Jen, thank you for that. But yeah, we will totally, they do have tutorials. Yeah, Laura said she thinks they have tutorials, and yes, they do, Laura. They have a lot of tutorials. They have a great help desk, but you can always come to me or my community, and I'll be talking about my community in just a little bit. But yeah, we will always try to help you as best as we can. Okay, so what are you going to put in your PLR product? When you first think about it, it might seem like a great idea just to throw some articles together, throw a report together, and be done with it, and then you can go ahead and market it. Well, it's not always that simple, because your clients are visual based. Most people are visual based. Most people are attracted to, that's why Instagram is so popular, YouTube is so popular. People are attracted to images. And your job as a PLR seller is to think about your clients and to think about making their lives easy. So you want to make sure that you have not every little thing nailed out. If Greg is one of my clients, and this is a paleo pack, and he deals with paleo for cavemen, and Jen is one of my clients, and this is a paleo pack, and she deals with paleo for beach bums. I don't have to be so specific that I have to rattle my brain every time I create a product thinking, how do I suit both of these folks? But if this is paleo for outdoor life, I do want to be sure that I have a foundation, a good foundation, so that Greg can then take that, go find those cavemen that magically appeared after hundreds of years and take care of them. And Jen can go off on her beach, and she can live outdoors on her beach, and she can serve whatever community she's got over there. And that foundation is there for everyone. Does that make sense? So here's what I would recommend. Okay, sorry, just checking the chat real quick. Okay. In the beginning, you're not going to really have a good understanding or a good grasp of what your audience wants, and that's natural. Over time, this is a progression. Over time, you're going to figure out this is what this person, this group of folks really, really responds to. This is what makes me the most profit. This is what I enjoy the most. It's a process. As it goes along, you're going to figure it out, and you'll find the affiliates that you connect with the best. You'll find the group that you connect with the best. But in the beginning, money loves speed. So in the beginning, it's all about getting it out there. So you really have to ask yourself, what do I need to do to get it out quickly, but make it appealing? See, it seems kind of hard, but it's really, I'm going to break it down for you so it's not that hard. You want to get it out quickly, but you want to make it appealing. So Jen says she'd fry in 10 minutes on the beach, but being a beach bum is a good example. So see, then you've got the smarty pants. Us PLR sellers, though, see, that's what happens. Like you find other PLR sellers that you work well with. You find other PLR sellers that serve your people well, and that's how you build these great relationships with potential affiliates, potential JV partners. That's how you build your own net of your client base, because if you can serve my customers well, then I will promote you. And it all kind of starts to come full circle. So what are we going to do that's going to be fast, but is going to serve them well? Articles are a great way to start, and a report is a great way to start. I would always recommend, personally, having articles in a report in whatever package you create. That's me. Another thing that you can do is create multiple reports and then pull the articles from those reports. So for instance, and this is something that I didn't even come up with on my own. My business coach actually came up with this, but no, that's not it. But my audience does seem to really like it, and I would have never thought of this on my own. So I have this report here, and then I pulled my articles from this report. So they're getting the report and they're getting articles. It's all the same thing, but they're getting it in 2 different formats. So they don't have to bang their heads trying to get these for their blog posts. They don't have to, what am I going to do? How am I going to market this? Or how am I going to, what am I going to do with these articles? How am I going to pull them out of this report is what I'm trying to say. How am I going to get all this out of this report? Because it's already here for them. If you did choose to do it this way, I would always promote the report first, because that's the bigger thing. Always promote the report first. Or, and here's another great tip, you can make like 5 or 6 packs of 10 articles, which is a lot of writing, I know. Maybe even 3 or 4 packs, but make all those articles related. So like the first pack of 10 could be paleo for babies. The second pack of 10 could be paleo for nursery school kids. The third pack of 10 could be paleo for the breastfeeding mother. The fourth pack of 10 could be paleo for the young adult. So it all kind of connects, but each pack is drilled down specific to a specific topic, okay? And that way, that pack can be a report. So like paleo for babies would be its own report. And then you could simply take the articles out of that report and boom, you've got 10 articles. So what would happen is when your customers came here, they would have 4 reports, but they'd also have 40 articles. And very little hassle for you, very extensive amount of content for them. It's a win-win. The only thing that I want to caution you of, and it's very, very important, you're going to want to write it down actually. If you do this, if you take articles pulled from the report that you create, you always want to be sure that you let them know, because otherwise those who figure it out are going to be ticked. They're going to feel like they were gypped, and it's going to hurt your relationship with your customers. So I have here, this is our report. These are pulled from the report. Simple as that. The other thing is, we talked about earlier how once you have products under your belt, you can then use those products as like in future launches. You can use those PLR products as, hey, you get this too, bonuses, if you do a future launch. So like if I did this picnic report 5 years from now, let's say I make a brand new pack that's all about avoiding picnic ants. I can throw this in as a bonus to that pack. I can put this bonus on the sales page, but I must say, hey, you'll get instant access to the brand new Avoiding Ants at Your Picnic pack and the pre-released da-da-da-da-da, because otherwise they'll feel gypped. So you just want to be really transparent with your audience. So we've got a report, we've got articles, two great ways to start here. Checklists are really great. Report opt-in pages, a lot of people do this. You don't have to do it though, especially if you're newer. You don't have to do it, but it's nice for folks. All this really is an HTML code. There's no, it's not as complicated as it might sound. So you create the page, you grab the HTML code, make a screenshot of the page, give them the HTML code, the screenshot. I also save the files when I create the page. So in other words, if you're looking at a page, you can right click, you can save as, and save as HTML. I do that. A lot of people, I don't think a lot of people use it, but there are a few very, very techie people who like that kind of thing. So I would say I maybe have 0.01 people on my list who actually use that. But when you have a system, you just keep flowing with your system. So social media images are always great. Not needed, but always great. You have to be really, really careful with images, though. You have to be sure that they're royalty-free images. You have to be sure that they don't need to be credited in any way. We have a report over at useplr.com, UsePLR to create social media images, and that will show you how to find images. Another great way to get images is to find somebody, outsource this. And if you need help doing that, we have we can get you connected with someone who does images over in our UsePLR members community. Checklists are another great thing. I just created this in Word, and then I, once it was created, I did a 2-page view, and I minimized the document so that I could grab a screenshot, and everything would like flow together this way. And then I used Snagit to grab the screenshot. So, but these are the basics. Another great tip I want to show you really quick, and then we'll get to the where to go from here speech. But once you have your JVZoo account set up, go over to your approved product, or no, I'm sorry, go to Find Products and do a search for PLR. If you do health PLR, look for health PLR. If you do cooking PLR, look for cooking PLR. But that will bring up all of these different things. And one thing that JVZoo allows you to do is to take a look at the website. So you could just Control-click, see the sales page. And if I was in the IM PLR niche, then I could say, okay, well, this is what this person is selling. So if I wanted Amit to be my affiliate, then it would be a really good idea for me. Look, I mean, he's sold 26,000 units. Obviously, if I was courting affiliates, he would be a really good choice if I was in the IM niche, okay? Granted, this product came out way, way long ago, but I would definitely do a little more background on him, see what he's released recently and all that stuff. And I would see what he's put out as far as PLR. I would try to make something that complements that in the sense of, okay, this PLR pack has what? A report, a squeeze page, or a free report, emails. I would want to do all that. Not on the exact same topic, obviously. I wouldn't, you don't want to steal, but chances are if somebody is in the IM niche and they bought a big piece of PLR that has all this stuff in it, then they will buy another piece of PLR that has stuff in it that complements this. Does that make sense? So you don't just go and say, oh, hey, this is what he's doing, so I'm totally going to do this exactly. You don't ever want to do that. That damages your trust in huge, huge ways. But complement things. So Hugh Hughes, he's about to release his organic gardening Compliment, not copy. Thank you, Audrey. That's perfect. Yes, compliment, not copy. So for instance, Hugh Hughes is about to release his organic gardening PLR. Anyone who's part of our Use PLR members group, if you want to promote that, please let me know in the group, tag me or Hugh, and we will get you that information because it's a good one. So what should I do then if I am, let's say I am a PLR provider who is in the niche of all things organic. So what am I going to do? I'm going to look at his sales page. I'm going to see what elements he has of that sales page. Is he doing a report? Is he doing an opt-in page? Does he have emails? What does he have going on? And then my pack is going to be an organic pack as well, but it won't be gardening. Okay, so let's say he does gardening. Maybe I do organic ways to, or how to grow organic vegetables. You know, something different, but not so different that his audience would be like, well, I have no need for this. Okay, so last thing is the other place that we go that a lot of people like now is warriorplus.com. And this is the same way as JVZoo in the sense that you would, again, create your product, upload it here, take the HTML code, put that HTML code into your website as the buy button. And this also takes affiliates for you. It pays, I don't know if this makes automatic payments. I don't use this system as a seller, but it takes care of all that stuff for you. It's another free option to get your stuff out there. Once again, I don't recommend sticking with JVZoo or Warrior Plus. I think it's really important to let you guys know that your goal is to have your own shopping cart. Your goal is to have your own affiliate program. Even when you have those things though, I would not, and you might want to write this down, I would not remove the original Warrior Plus or JVZoo buttons, because some people who promote these promote them passively, and that means that they promote them in a blog post somewhere. So if somebody finds it 5 years from now, they might click on it, they might buy it. Okay, so I would not remove those buttons. What I would do is I duplicate that page and make another page with my regular button for my shopping cart. Or I would just leave it the way it is and, you know, not mess with it at all. I mean, it's really your call, but either way, I wouldn't remove it. All right, so this is going to run a little bit over, so I do apologize. Do you have any questions? Okay, so last thing is, where do you go from here? Well, a lot of my folks who are here on the call are part of our group, and that's our Use PLR members group. And what we do here is primarily we serve people who are using PLR. I do have a lot of sellers in this group though, and the reason that it benefits PLR sellers to be in this group is because they can connect with their audience, they can figure out what buyers of PLR are looking for, and they can really build that know, like, trust factor that PLR buyers are looking for when they trust somebody with their money, obviously. So over here we have PLR accountability partners, we have weekly power hour discussions, we have check-ins almost every day. People set their goals and their intentions for the week. We also have we have a place here, if you have PLR, for you to showcase your PLR. I should tell you, everyone is welcome to join our group. Just do a Facebook search, use PLR as one word, and then members group. If you do choose to try to showcase your PLR, it has to go through me first. I don't let anyone broadcast themselves as a PLR seller in my group unless I can vouch for them. So please, please don't take it critically if you create your first pack and I say, you know what, I'm really not comfortable sharing this with my group just yet. That doesn't mean I won't help you find an audience. It doesn't mean I won't help you find space or maybe help you figure out how to tweak that. What it does mean, though, is that I have high standards. And it doesn't mean that your stuff isn't good. It just means that I have this whole community who is relying on me to be their first line of defense. And I have to take that really seriously. So it does take a lot to build up that trust factor with me. It's nothing personal. If you were my client, I guarantee you'd love it because you know that I'm watching out for you. Okay, so next step, I think, is to go ahead and join this group. If nothing else, you can join this group, tag me in something, and I can get you connected with other PLR sellers, or I can let you know who the PLR sellers are. Every Friday, you're going to get to share your links. PLR sellers also get specific shout-out threads where they get to, on a weekly basis, say what they're doing and link to that. And it's a great way to find affiliates as well. So first thing I would do, join over here, use PLR members group. You will also be notified if you're in this group of when we do have another PLR teacher come in with a course that will take you even further into this learning process of learning PLR. If you want access to the course that I'm going to eventually be promoting to you guys, send me a private email at rachel@useplr.com. Even though I don't want to publicly say the name of the course, I don't want to publicly share it at this time because I don't want you guys to have to go pay full price for something that I may be able to get at a better offer for you in just a short period of time. I still would like for you to, it's your business. You run it how you see fit. If you would rather say, hey, Rach, I want the course information now. I understand it might be at a discount later, but I want it now. Then that's fine. That's totally up to you. Send me a private message. I just don't want any confusion, for the people who are listening to the replay or when this gets posted around, that kind of stuff. Yes, and Jen brought up a really good point. In our group, we also use PLR from others. So it's even not uncommon for our PLR sellers to be like, oh, hey, this seller's in the group, and I like this person. We chat a lot. I know this person. I need PLR for my own side project. I'm going to grab PLR from this person. It's a great little community. You'll also be notified, of course, of our power hours, and so you will be notified when those things come up. Okay. All right, so we are at our 2 o'clock mark. We usually wrap at 2, guys, but we're going to do a question and answer. Anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask? Please feel free to let me know now. Hey, Tina, good to see you today. Hey, Miss Carol, good to see you today. You can just use your chat box and throw them in there. And member wins. If there's any member who wants to share their member wins, please tell me in the chat box, yes, I want to talk. Because otherwise, I'll just go ahead and assume everybody is ready to roll after we answer questions. So. And just as a reminder, if anything comes up or anything pops up after the meeting and you choose not to join our Facebook group, which is totally okay, send me an email, rachel@useplr.com. Okay, Audrey has a great question. What email program do you all use? MailChimp is not working for me since the changes. Audrey, I use, and it's in the group too. I posted it in the units yesterday. If you go over here to units, you can see a walkthrough of it. I'm sorry, it's a learning. But I use ConvertKit. That's what works for me because right here, created passive income unit 5, walkthrough of my email marketing system. That's where you're going to want to go. It's a walkthrough of ConvertKit. That works for me because for me and my business, it it allows me to, I use a member So it allows me to schedule all my emails, but it also links to my A-member so that when I create a product, then it automatically, they link up automatically that product in that back-end sequence. So I used to use Aweber for a very long time, but ConvertKit allows me to tag my subscribers, which is really important to me because that allows me to then go back and say, okay, well, Audrey is interested in Whole Foods. Audrey is interested in journals. She's tagged for both of these things, meaning that she's clicked a link for both of these things in the past. Now Jen Brockman has a Whole Food journal. Audrey is a great person to target for this. So that's why I choose ConvertKit personally. But again, it's a personal decision. I think $40 a month, I want to say. Maybe 50, but I was paying like 40 for Aweber. So I do know it's not much more than I was paying before, but the benefits really outweigh the little price difference. Jen says she uses MailerLite. Hey Jen, do you have an affiliate link for that you want to drop in the chat for Audrey in case she needs it? If you don't, it's okay. But if she decides she likes it, then I definitely want you to get credit for it. So I would recommend checking out Mailer. Okay, no problem, Jen. If you want to, you can either PM Audrey or make a note in the group chat under the Power Hour thread, and we can tag Audrey in that. Only if you want to, no pressure. And Audrey, just because we mention things does not mean that you have to take trials or anything like that. Please never think that. I always encourage everybody to do what's best for you and your business. You're going to find that when you go through your business journey, certain things are going to work for you that just don't work for other people. This Use PLR community, I had no idea it was going to turn into anything that it was like it's turning into. Like this Facebook group, I had no idea, quite honestly, and it's turning into its own thing. And that's what you'll find is that once you, as you kind of go through your business, it'll, you're going to go in a place that maybe I'm not going, and that's okay. Okay, she says she has Jen's email, so that's really good. Okay, any other questions? Oh, and Audrey, I should mention that they're not the only two that are out there. There's a lot of other ones out there. You can also feel free to post a question in the group just asking for everybody's, just saying, hey, what does everybody use for their email server? Questions, anybody? Yeah, Audrey says there's so many email options, it's overwhelming. It really is. And I would try to focus down on the price point that you want to look for and the features that you want to look for. So like I for the longest time didn't even know that tagging existed. I didn't know it was an option. I didn't know it was a thing I could do with my subscribers. Once I figured it out, I was out of Aweber like a hot potato. I was like, okay, I got to get out of here. I got to get something that's tagging my clients to the links that they're clicking because I need to know what they're doing. And that's me. That's just how I want my business to go. So yeah, figure out what features you want and then go from there. Okay, guys, any of my regular folks have anything they want to chat about today before we wrap? If you don't, that's okay. Just stay silent. If you do, just let me know in the chat box, please. And for everyone else, just a reminder, you can always reach me at rachel@useplr.com. And if you want information on the courses that I think are going to be valuable after this, please shoot me a private email, rachel@useplr.com. Because, again, I don't want to broadcast them publicly because I'm 99% sure that I'll be able to get them at a discounted rate at some point in the near future. So I want to serve everybody, but I don't want it to cause any confusion for anybody. So, all right, looks like that's it for today. Okay, guys, this is Rachel Youngston from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. See you guys in the Use PLR members group. Today we are dropping day 2 of our challenge, Use PLR to create a backend sequence. And please feel free to use the challenge thread to let me know what's going on with you guys. All right, have a great day, everybody. It was really great connecting with you. Hope to see you soon. It's good to meet you, Leah. It's good to see you today. Good to see you, Laura. Tina, always good to see you. All right, guys, take care.